So here we are. Sorry about that if you're on Instagram or on SoundCloud. That was the most inauspicious start, but it might be heralding fantastic things to come. Who knows? Sometimes bad starts add up to quite good. Hello, Lulu Forever. Hello, Tracy Hare. Hello, Irina. Hello, Angelic Light Symphony. Hello, Tiff Kendall, Hair Holistic. Hello, Mindful Swan. Lulu Forever again. Zara Christensen. Emily Culture. Hello from Adelaide, says Fiona Anderson. Kamakshi. Hello, how are you? I'm actually pretty good. I'm pretty good. So now, what is going on? Let me tell you what is going on. Today we're going to do a chant. We're going to do a chakra clearing chant. Just because I continue to need my chakras cleared at the moment. We're going to pull a card and we're going to talk about the full moon and how you can be a part of the whole full moon celebrations we'll be having. I'm actually going to be going out into my courtyard garden as I do most full moons, assuming it's not raining. And I'm going to be doing a full moon ceremony, which I am really looking forward to. Because even though I've been feeling really good during this isolation period, I think in the last, I think I didn't go outside enough. It's all gone in waves. Has it gone in waves for you? Like, oh, it's really good. Oh, I'm really suffering. Oh, it's really good. Oh, it's really difficult. And I think for me, what happened, I think I mentioned we got one of those Amazon Alexa machines and I was very excited. So I started playing the news every morning and every night. I'd say, good morning, Alexa. And it would say, good morning, here's the news. And I'd get the news from the BBC in England, CNN in the States, and then the ABC in Australia. And I noticed my mood was kind of plummeting because all of a sudden I went from feeling like, hey, we're all having a lovely time on a very long weekend. You know, that's kind of what it felt like here at our place. And then I think the whole coronavirus thing started really getting to me. Not that I wasn't aware of it. I mean, we've been, you know, I've donated to the NHS while we've been having this happen. I've been going out every Thursday night and banging the pots and pans to thank the workers. I've donated to India where my teacher Narayani Amma is feeding, I can't remember now, but thousands and thousands more people than usual, just free food because obviously India, like everywhere else, is in lockdown. But obviously in India, you know, I don't know if you've been there, but there's plenty of people there who don't even have a bank account, let alone money saved up for a rainy day. So, you know, they literally haven't been able to feed themselves and their family. So, you know, it's not that I haven't been aware of what's going on, and I have been doing what I can. Plus, I've been doing these messages every day. But I was kind of, I think, in a little bit of maybe a gratitude bubble, you know, and fear wasn't permeating me. Then as soon as I started listening to the news, I felt the fear coming up in me. So I changed Alexa and told her not to play me the news anymore. And I am feeling better, but I'm still feeling a little bit anxious at the moment. You know, not about anything in particular, although, you know, certain themes keep reoccurring. And I guess that's the full moon. Because anybody who has been doing my my stuff that we do with my, I'm just trying to find the book actually. This is the book that started it all, for those of you who don't know, Moonology. Moonology. It doesn't come up very well on the camera, but you can just about see it says Moonology. So that's the book I wrote many years ago based on, I mean, really on decades of work that I'd been doing with the new moon and the full moon. And then these are the diaries. The next year's diary is going to come out very soon. I'm going to talk about it very soon. But, you know, if you know about either of these, you know that at full moon, what do? We do release work, we do forgiveness work, we let it all go, we forgive ourselves, we forgive other people. Now, why do we do that? Because it's exactly what I'm talking about right now. It's all my feelings, all our feelings come to the surface at the time of the full moon, okay? So if you think about it, the full moon in astrology represents the divine feminine, for one thing, and, you know, breasts and food and feeding and breastfeeding and what we need. And it also represents our emotions. I'm just seeing here, I've got a nice full moon here, haven't I? Okay. it represents our emotions. So if you think of it, as the moon gets fuller through every single day of the waxing cycle, so from the new moon to the full moon, our emotions get fuller. As the moon swells, we swell, our emotions swell, okay? And that's why the full moon can be something of an emotional explosion. And it's why, you know, people tend to go a bit loony, crazy at the full moon, which we know. And as I said, can be before the new moon as well, for different reasons. But this is when we get all our feelings coming to the surface, and it's the time to work with them and to release them. And that's what I'm going to be doing with my online ceremony. I'm actually just trying to work out, I guess it will be on Hay House like normal, because it's going to be on the 7th, might be on the 6th. I'm not exactly sure. You have to check my events page. You know, we all know every day's rolled into one at the moment anyway. But if you go to moodmessages.com/FB events for Facebook events, I'll also broadcast it on Instagram, but I won't be able to sort of program a reminder. I've put the link on Instagram. I've put a link to that page where you can register for my full moon event if you'd like to join me in the garden. I'll be doing a fire ceremony with my little fire pit. Gosh, I'm really looking forward to it. I actually really need it. Just by the way, I actually went outside yesterday for the first time, like properly outside for the first time in weeks. We've just been going out in the courtyard and getting sunshine and fresh air out there, but I thought, you know what, it's time to start getting out in the world. And it was kind of scary, you know, like when you've got people on the footpath and you're sort of like, oh, we shouldn't really be near them. I mean, you know, it's a bit strange. It's a bit strange. And I just like to actually say one little completely thing as an aside here. We need to watch out for our kids that they don't become obsessive compulsive as a result of what's going on. You know, I know children born around 2006 who are now 13, and I'm not exactly sure of the when it started and when it finished, but a lot of them will have nodal action. Look at their nodes. You know, there's going to be some nodal action there in Virgo, I think it is. And, you know, it can translate as a generation that grows up with an obsession about washing their hands and so on. So we need to really be careful, you know, that we don't make it too scary for them. You know, just a thought I keep having, which I thought I'd share. So, yes, so I'm looking forward to the full moon. And we also offer a free kit every month, which I've linked to on Facebook. For that, it's moonmessages.com/FMK, which stands for Full Moon Kit. And what you get in there is something I think really powerful, which is a full moon meditation to listen to as you fall asleep. I'm going to be listening to it tonight. I really need it. You also get the full moon forgiveness formula, which is in my book Moonology, but it's so powerful, and we'll be doing that. We'll be doing that around the fire at the full moon ceremony. I really want to encourage you, even if you've never done it before, and even if you think it sounds a bit strange, try and join me for the full moon ceremony, because it's such an intensely powerful time at the moment. I even feel a bit emotional talking about it. It's just so much going on. And, you know, I just want to thank you all for your really, really kind, loving messages that you've sent me, thanking me for doing these sessions. And, you know, every single time I get one of those messages, you know, whether people say it on these messages or I've had lots of emails privately as well, you know, every time one of you says thank you, and so many of you say you don't know how much you're helping. And that's so true. Like, I don't know how much I'm helping, but when you tell me that it's helping, guess what? It really motivates me to keep going, because, you know, I mean, it's so different in 2020, isn't it? Like, it's not back in the day where, you know, when you were a writer, you'd be just sort of writing into a dark abyss with no idea who was ever going to read it or who was there. And now I know that what I'm doing is helping people, which is such an honor and such a privilege, and it's really helped me. You know, it's really got me through this period, which I know isn't over yet, but I feel like we're moving towards, you know, I think as Prime Minister Boris Johnson said here in the UK, you know, it's peaked. So now I think we're over the hump, so to speak. And I think we're moving towards emerging from the darkness of our hibernation back into the light. And in the case of the Northern Hemisphere, we're moving into summer, you know. But this has really helped me. It's got me out of bed every weekday. And I hope it's helped you too. It's got me dressed. It's got me finding my earrings. I actually bought some really nice earrings online, which I'll show you tomorrow. But these are the ones from Shambhala Festival. Anyone here go to Shambhala? So much fun. My son's like, oh, I hope it doesn't get cancelled. Anyway, let's do a chant and then a card, and then we'll call it a day. All right. So, and I'll read all your messages afterwards, like I always do. So, I'm going to do the chakra clearing chant. I'm going to do it 3 times, and I ask you to just listen to it. If you've got earbuds, stick them in now. And what it is, that I've actually got an explanation of it. I've been doing this chant for about a year or 2 or 3 now, maybe even 4 years, I'm not sure. And I had it explained to me when I first learnt it, but I used to be someone who needed an explanation for everything. But now, it's a little bit different. I don't actually feel quite the same way. Sometimes I can just take things on face value because of who they come from. And this came from my teacher in India, Narayani Amma. But I've since discovered that, the chant is actually made up of bija mantra sounds, which we've talked about a fair bit while we've talked about mantras, like cream and and there's various bija mantra sounds, which are the seed mantras. So you know the phrase, so there's that, so it's Hari Om Nam Lam, for example. So Lam there is the bija mantra sound for the root chakra, and it goes up through the chakras. But you'll see there's 2 sounds in each. Sorry, I know this is getting a bit complicated, but for those of you who are into mantra, just listen and then we'll just chant it, and you don't need to understand this. You know the chant Om Namah Shivaya? Do you know that one? I mean, you know, Om Namah Shivaya Shiva, Om Namah Shivaya Shiva, for example. Do you know that one? Okay, guess what? Om Namah Shivaya. They are the sounds, the Sanskrit words associated with Na for earth, Ma for water, Sh for fire, Va for air, and Ya for space. In other words, Om Namah Shivaya is more or less Om, earth, water, fire, air, and space. That blew my mind. Om Namah Shivaya sounds like, you know, a sentence in Sanskrit, doesn't it? It's actually all the sounds of the 5 elements. And the other sounds that you're going to hear are the mantras for the chakras. So there you go. Amazing. So let's just do it. We'll just do it once because I've been prattling on quite a lot today. So here we go. Hari Om Nam Lam Mam Vam Sim Ram Vam Yam Yam Ham Shiva Ram Swaha. And you can do that up to 10 minutes a day. I am collating an album of these chants eventually. Some of them will be available in the Sun, Moon and Stars portal when it opens up. But more about that another time. So I'm going to leave it there. Oh no, the card. Who wants a card? Are you ready? Have you got a question? Put your question in the comments. Put your question in the comments. Pin your question to the mast. That's the card. Just wait for a few more people to put their question there. Or if you don't want to put it in the comments, write on a piece of paper wherever you are. Oh, thanks, Diana. I'm glad you love my chanting. I love my chanting. I love chanting. Anyone got a question? She Shine Sunshine is asking about a relationship. Carrie Rafferty, yes, yes. Nobody's putting their question in there. All right, well, I'm just going to give you the answer now. Good one. Your hard work is paying off. Your hard work is paying off. Your hard work is paying off. All right, so let's have a look. So this is particularly good for anybody who's asking a question about work. But whatever it is that you are working on in your life, even if it's getting yourself healthy, helping a family member to get healthier, you know, taking vegetable food around for your neighbor, I'm just saying, should I let him go, Kim Purdy? Okay, so, and if you've got a question like that, we'll try and take something like that into account here. Should I close up my France apartment, really, as I might not be back for 6 months? Okay, let's have a look. Well, for you, with the French apartment, it says make a proper plan and execute it well. So, you know, you need a good plan. You need a good plan. I'm sure somebody would rent your apartment in France. I would. Okay, here we go. First and foremost, this card suggests a new start for you professionally, okay? Whatever's been going on in your working life, this card heralds the start of a new and improved work cycle. If you're unhappy in your current job, this is the time to either renegotiate your position or look for something new. It's actually going to be an all-change situation for a lot of people. It's the new moon in Capricorn. Your hard work is paying off. Whatever your question, whether work-related or otherwise, a new plan and strategy is called for. You need to take a look at the long term and think about where you want to be in 12 months, even 5 years' time. That will inform your best course of action now, so think seriously about it. Drawing this card suggests it's time for you to be ambitious about whatever you want to achieve. Make a proper plan and execute it well, okay? You need to be more disciplined to reach your goal. Hard work will make your dreams a reality. A very good omen for studying or teaching. Don't be too controlling and avoid anyone who's too controlling. So basically, this is a very positive card. You know, the cards, these are the Moonology cards. This is this one. People are asking me to show. You know, the cards are not all positive. Like, sometimes I feel like they are because we get so many positive cards, and then I look through the deck and I put light and shade in there for sure. So it's a very good omen. Our hard work is paying off, but we need a proper plan. So whatever your question is, you need a proper plan. Kelly Fern, you need a proper plan. Louise Harley, yes, you got your answer. Nutty, good omen for studying. Hiking in Wales says that answered my question exactly. All right. I'm sending you lots and lots of love. Thank you for being you. And I'll see you back here tomorrow.